evening, good night, whatever time it is you're listening. This is Pony 411, the podcast all about My Little Pony, and I'm Nemesis, and joining me today is 4-String.
Sup, yo?
And Art Fan.
Aloha, listeners. How are you?
We're not Hawaii. You're not Hawaiian.
We are now, and I am now. No, I'm not. But not really.
Hawaii 411.
Oh, good Lord. Why does that sound like it should be a crime show?
That's actually not horrible. Let's do it. That's the novel you're writing, isn't it? The novel you were talking about doing this earlier.
No.
Oh, crap.
Hawaii 411.
The cat's out of the bag.
Yes, I am writing a novel, and it's all about Homestuck.
You said it wasn't fan fiction.
Well, you know.
I see how it is.
Yep.
I see how it is.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, not a whole lot happening this week, but we do have a few quick hits, and we got a bit of I hope it's interesting discussion.
So do I.
Yeah. Otherwise, this is going straight down the crapper. Anyway, quick hits.
You mean it's not there already?
Oh. And
Anyway.
there goes my self-esteem.
Yep.
I mean, no. Anyway, quick hits.
You had self-esteem. No, sorry. So quick hits.
Yes,
Yeah.
quick hits. If I can actually ever get them started.
Number 1.
Over the past week, Equestria LA has announced Nicole Oliver, Kathy Westluck, Michelle Krieber, Andrea Libman, and Brenda Critchlow will attend.
Boy, that's a mouthful.
Yes. And on top of that, Andrea Libman will also attend Big Apple Pony Con.
Nice.
Yes, that's 2 conventions.
That's pretty much to replace Tara Strong, I feel like.
Yeah, probably.
That was my
what they should
immediate
have done
thought when I
is-
saw the press release tonight. I was like, oh.
Well,
Well,
what they should have done, clearly they should have gotten Tori Spelling to replace Tara Strong.
Tori Spelling is divorcing, guys. Did you know? She's on the cover of, I think, like Us Weekly or something today.
Uh-oh.
Now's your chance, 4-String.
I know. Here we go.
Get her done.
Literally, someone posted it on my Facebook wall. They're like, hey, Kevin, look. I'm like, yeah.
Dear diary, jackpot.
I can only hope one day she
One day.
comes into my life in some way. Be it as my wife
Someday.
or as a guest star on My Little Pony. I don't know.
Or a succubus.
Or, I mean, she's already one of
Wink.
those. I don't know.
Anyway, Sibsy, a storyboard artist on MLP, has joined the Brony Thank You Fund board of directors. She's replacing Lee Takar, who has to step down due to business reasons, which were never clarified, but whatever. Not our.
They pushed him off a cliff into and said it's just good business.
I know
away.
exactly what you're talking about.
The business was giving him the business. Okay, throwing him off a cliff.
Inside joke. You guys won't get it. Sorry.
Fight for 5. Fight for...
Oh, God.
Anyway,
Let's stop that train before it leaves the station.
before it gets derailed.
Yep.
Anyway, Enterplay, the company behind the official MLP trading cards, has also announced that a Pinkie Pie promo card to be given out at Big Apple Pony Con, similar to previous con exclusive cards.
Get the rare holographic Pinkie Pie card, only at Big Apple PonyCon.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, like I got the holographic or what they call foil Fluttershy from Everfree last year.
Nemesis is like, I have all the collectible cards.
No, that's my friend. He's the one who's collecting them. I don't care that much. If Everfree this year has a Twilight card, it's mine. I'm going to find a way to get multiple.
I was just about to say, you'd care if it was a Twilight Sparkle collectible card.
Yes, I would. Anyway, Nightmare Night Dallas have announced themselves. Sort of, I guess. The con is going to take place in Dallas, Texas at the Crown Plaza Suites and has already announced several guests as well, including Andrea Libman. She keeps popping up. Peter New, Brenda Critchlow, James Wooten, Pixel Kitties, and Spain Fisher. They're also going to announce more guests as time goes on, and the con will run from November 8th to 10th this year.
Now, is Nightmare Night Dallas, is this a new con? Is it?
Yeah, it's a new con.
Yes.
Nightmare Nights is really interesting because they, back in, I think, December they actually announced that they were not going to happen. They'd already announced, so they said, we can't make this work, And then like the next day they're like, wait, hold on a second, guys. We may got this. And they did end up got this.
They got this so hard.
Or they got the money by planning a heist at Unicon.
I mean, yeah. It is. So,
oh boy.
So I mean, good for them at least. It looks like they came out of whatever hole or whatever the issue was and have done pretty well for themselves.
So yet another con. Yeah. Anyway, Legends of Equestria, a fan-made MMO, which is a massively multiplayer online game, is seeking artists of the concept and 2D variety, plus 3D modelers, animators, and PR experts. If you're capable of any of those things, you should check it out.
Awesome. I can draw.
But can you draw well?
Well, yeah.
And also, the official MLP comic from IDW did well in February, with the main series selling over 43,000 copies and the micro series selling over 34,000 copies.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, so still very popular, which is good.
It's tubular,
they're
man.
Very good. Tubular.
Radical.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
I've been listening to a lot of 90s music this week. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I was going to say, Kevin's been on a healthy diet of 90s music and apparently Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, tubular and whatnot.
That's true.
Turtle power.
Go ninjas, go ninjas, go.
Yes. And finally,
anyway.
Galacon has announced the Start Next campaign with an animated promo. The Start Next campaign is a crowdfunding campaign, which basically is like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, if you've ever heard of those. And it's designed to help make Galacon bigger and better. So basically, you're just trying to help prevent them from running out of money or just making the con, well, big.
Give us your money, man. Help us out.
Crowdfunding is actually very big right now.
I mean, this isn't the first example of it that I've heard recently, so it's apparently getting pretty popular.
Wasn't Cantaloupe Gardens planning on doing a Kickstarter or something?
They are. It's currently happening, yeah.
That's what I thought.
They need, I believe, $20,000, and last check they were at about $2,000.
Oh dear!
I'm going to check it again.
But how long is the Kickstarter set to run for?
Okay,
that can make a lot of difference.
They need to get to 20,000. They're currently at 3,816. They have 18 days to go.
When they start?
About, you know what? I want to say about. It wasn't a month ago, but it's getting close to about a month ago.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Well, see, this happened this happened a day or two after LPU, if I recall correctly.
Oh, yeah. Bad timing.
Maybe not though. There might actually been another. There was at least one con that started up a Kickstarter like 1 or 2 days after LPU. It might have been this. It might have been one of the other ones. And so that's always like, oh, hey guys, yeah.
Well, about that, you see.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the news. Hooray! It's done. So.
It's done. Good night. There is no more.
There's no more.
There's no more. You can leave.
Play him off, keyboard cat. Yes, I dug that one up out of the grave.
It's okay. I love keyboard cat.
Jokes. Anyway, so over the past week, I was kind of scrambling for a topic, and I came up with this one. Namely, well, Fanon. And, well, how it begins. And just its effect on the show, or the show's effect on it, and just maybe ones you like and dislike. So, I guess to start off, like, we should probably define what is Fanon, and that's basically, it's a belief that a large chunk, not necessarily the majority, but a large chunk of the fandom believes to be true, even if it hasn't actually happened within the show or hasn't been confirmed by like show staff. So it's just very like basically a large held like head canon, just stuff that while we don't know it's true, it's kind of sometimes it's plausible, sometimes not. But anyway, I guess one thing I want to ask you guys, I guess one thing, what's one particular Fanon type of thing you've liked that you've seen from this show?
I like the Scootaloo being an orphan. and I don't like that from some sort of morbid, like, I like to see her suffer sort of way. I just think it's a really interesting dimension to the character, at least in my mind, and perhaps in the minds of others as well. Even if it isn't, it's fan, and it's at least at this point. But I really like, thinking of it that way. Thinking of her character with that in mind. I think it actually makes her a more interesting character. Without it, I don't think she's as interesting, but I think with that, like, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. And it kind of explains a lot of the things to me with, being so, in big on Rainbow Dash and things like that. There's actually another one, slightly relating to Scootaloo. Well, not slightly, it is relating to Scootaloo. This isn't as big for me, but the whole thing that she actually can't fly, like she's...
Ah, yes.
What would the word be? Like, not like paralyzed, but maybe that is the word, but like her wings don't work, or at least work right, at least.
They're not strong enough.
Yeah, not strong enough, and never will be strong enough. And that's something that's really interesting to me. And I thought that might actually not be fanon so much. Like, I thought maybe
that's in a weird limbo.
Yeah, I thought,
because
didn't someone from the show possibly say that was a thing?
Well, I remember this. It was one of those theorized things that people noticed, Scootaloo can't fly, and then people noticed, like, which one was it? Pound Cake could fly, even though he was just a baby, and people were like, oh, why can't Scootaloo fly? And then when Lauren Faust herself actually came out and said, I kind of never wanted Scootaloo to fly. I kind of wanted an episode where she kind of confronted that thing where she realizes she is never going to fly.
That's right. Okay.
And so it's, even though this was this was after she left the show and everything, and we don't know if it's ever actually going to pop up in the show itself as a thing, but so it's in this weird limbo right now where it's kind of fanon, kind of canon.
Yeah, I guess it would be, because I mean it's been said by the show creator, but the show creator is no longer on the show. So
exactly.
Yeah. I don't know.
So it's just
Anyway,
things.
that going back to your original question though, there's the whole Scootaloo orphan thing. I think is definitely my favorite for sure.
Right. Yeah, I've always liked that one too. I mean, I know a lot of people who don't like it because they're Scootaloo fans and they just hate the idea of Scootaloo being sad or anything. But
Right.
It kind of would help, I guess, explain why she's so attached herself so much to Rainbow Dash. Like, it's because the show has already implied, at least strongly implied, that she has no siblings. We don't know if she's actually an orphan or if she has parents we've never seen or what, but we know that for at least she probably doesn't have any siblings because she's so desperate to have Dash as her older sister. Or big sister, I guess. And it would be kind of interesting if they actually tackled this. Like, yeah, she doesn't have a family. And I'm not sure if they ever actually will go there, but it'd be interesting at least if it ever becomes canon. Because... yeah. Art, do you have anything, or are you just going to be like, no?
Well, you see, yeah, this might be where I stay quiet for most of the podcast, because I don't really follow the fanon that much. So I don't know if some of you listeners have been tuning in for every episode, but I'm not really that big of brony, I guess.
Shun the Art fan.
Shun. Yeah, so fanon, I guess anything with Rainbow Dash is cool. Yeah, so or something.
So I guess you like that. What's the most popular fan of Rainbow Dash? Oh, lesbian.
There we go.
Well, why not?
No problem with this, yeah. I just like that he just like blindly chose some sort of like character for fanon. Didn't even ever necessarily have to.
It happens to be a character I happen to like, at least.
Right.
So.
But what if there was no fanon revolving around that character?
We laugh at him.
That would be disappointing.
We laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Either Rainbow Dash or Fluttershy, any fanon related to them.
What's with one? I'm trying to think if there's any with Fluttershy, really. I can't think of any.
I will fix that. Keyboard.
Uh-oh.
He's going to create his own. Look out, guys.
Headcanon.
Can we start creating our own headcanon for this episode?
And then
Yeah, that would actually
and then
be good.
Fluttershy picked up the electric guitar and began to.
I've seen. Yeah, there's that picture. I think I showed you of Fluttershy with like spiked bracelets and playing a guitar somehow with hooves.
Somehow I could really see it. As Fluttershy always makes me think of like cheer up emo kid. You know, it's just. I just get that vibe when I look at the character and like listen to the character.
Well, now we know Art's headcanon.
Dear diary,
well,
mood apathetic.
Damn it. I guess that would be my headcanon, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be interesting to come back to in a little bit. Yeah, one of my favorites though is definitely like 4-string already said, the Scootaloo Orphan one. I think a lot of the ones one of the fanons I used to like has become canon. That was the Alicorn Twilight thing, so that's a moot point.
Of course.
Yes, but which I'll come back to later, sort of. But I won't make it all about Alicorn Twilight, I promise. But I guess going to the opposite end of the spectrum, is there any fanon you don't like? And
Any
again,
fanon
forcing you.
I don't like. God, this is tough because I have to actually think of all the fanon.
Yeah, there's a lot of it out there.
And yeah, there's a lot of. You know, do you have one yourself? You can come back to me in a second. I'm sure I can find something that maybe.
I'll be honest. The one, and this is gonna probably get a lot of hatred, is I do not like the Doctor Who thing that people try to inject in the show. Like the background pony's gone hourglass cutie mark. Oh, it's Doctor Who because his mane is so similar to the Doctor's. So it's got to be the Doctor. And I'm like, oh no.
Error: the Doctor doesn't have a mane. He's a human.
But yeah, so people are saying it's
astute
the Doctor
observation, Art.
Yes.
I do what I can. That's what I'm here for.
He is not
Anyway,
a pony.
yeah.
He is a human.
Oh God! It's the start of the Humans in Equestria stuff.
Oh no! Don't even. Don't
Equestria girls, it's happening.
Equestria girls crossover with Doctor Who? Huh? Forget I said it.
Oh dear.
Moving on.
Oh dear. But yeah, I really don't like. I just don't like the idea of Doctor Who being like shoehorned into My Little Pony at all. I don't like the idea of him being a Time Lord. I don't like the idea of a TARDIS being hidden somewhere. And people keep shoehorning in it. Believe it or not, there's been several fanfics that I'm like reading. It's all great, and then someone decides to shoehorn a bit of Doctor Who for no reason. It's
Wait,
like,
are they horseshoe horning him in?
You be quiet.
Can we just stop now? I mean, that's great. I enjoyed that one. I don't even know how anybody can top anything that was just said.
So, Art, you can't make any puns anymore because you can't top that one. You're done.
That's a good point.
That's it.
Harry,
over.
I've reached the top. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, so
What was the question again? Was it even my turn to talk?
no.
Okay.
I mean,
I was talking.
Continue.
Doctor.
We're good.
I don't like the Doctor Who thing, and because it's just people just kind of force it. Like I've seen this bit where I was reading a fanfic, and then one chapter out of nowhere, Doctor Who for no reason, and then just gone, no explanation. I was like, it was basically, you guys know the phrase, big up the alligator. I was like, what the hell just happened?
But Nemesis, does the Doctor need an explanation? He's the Doctor.
Yes. So yeah, that's one thing I don't like, and I know a lot of people love it, but I don't. But so Art, again. Do you have anything, or are you just going to go, no, again?
Well, what was the
Anything
exact question
relating
again?
to insert character here.
Any fanny you don't like?
Any fanon I don't like. It's all good to me, you know. I guess anything that would stray unrealistically far from what the character is. I guess.
Okay.
Making Rainbow Dash the introverted hermit shy one or something like that.
I think one that kind of actually falls along with that. That's actually widely accepted fanon is Pinky becoming like kind of like crazy. You know,
psychotic.
Yeah, basically.
You mean serial sort of murder?
But see, that fits because we know Pinky in certain moods can be very
yeah,
intense.
but killing people, skinning.
That's just silly. So
I told you to stay away
yours.
from my shed.
That's Fluttershy. You just messed it up.
Well,
you ruined it.
I figured it could.
Day, sir.
You get nothing.
Anyway, so I guess we just found 4 strings fanon he dislikes, or at least one.
Actually, I don't mind that one.
Oh,
I think I don't really like any fanon that's like romantic or sexual based because it just doesn't really fit the show for me.
I see.
It's just like, I mean, like the romantic thing, I guess, does get pushed sometimes every once in a while. But I think when it becomes more of like a sexual based type thing, it's just like, okay, guys, like we don't actually need to sit here and like ponder, oh, so and so is this is heterosexual. This is why I believe that, or this character is homosexual. This is why I believe. It's like,
Also,
what
think about
does
this.
it? Okay.
They're supposed to be kids in a way. They're ponies. They're
No, they're not.
Well, they're actually adults. Well, I
They're
mean,
supposed to be
the
young
main
adults
six are.
ish.
But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's not really done in the show. So to me, it's like,
Yeah.
just not really. I mean, at least with the Scootaloo orphan thing, like, I mean, it wasn't explicitly stated, but it was basically implied that Applejack's parents are dead. Shown
that's
even so
canon now.
so yeah, exactly. So like so in that way, I feel like the whole Scootaloo like parents being dead thing is like not so much of a stretch because of that, but like the whole like the whole like relationship thing. It's like it's not really referenced in the show, so I'm just like
Yeah,
mainly the whole thing with like everybody always like being oh Rainbow Dash is a lesbian, or Twilight and Celestia, they think it's like better yet, who cares?
shippers. They care.
It's just I
Sink
get
all the ships.
I
Sink 'em.
can I'm not a big shipper in anything I've ever been in fandom wise, but I at least can respect it and get it sometimes. With this show, I was just like, it's like literally like the last thing I think about, except for like Spike and Rarity because that's OTP. But everything.
In a way, fandoms are almost like navies. You have little ships and you have big ships. Some ships do more damage than others, but then of course you have the flagships, which are the ones everyone rallies behind. So.
Thank you, Art.
Right.
Thank you.
I just remember
You gotta
someone
admit, that's
actually
a good analogy.
someone I know who's a huge shipper like laid out like all the shipping fan. I'm like, holy crap, this stuff's more involved than I thought it was.
Oh yeah, so some of it gets very deep, and if you're into that, go ahead, do your thing. I'm not gonna make fun of you or anything. It just definitely is not for me.
Not my thing.
It's like whenever anybody starts mentioning the whole like it's I always just kind of tune it out. So I'm like, I just don't care.
Yep. I don't care.
Yeah. I'd rather come up with like more interesting fanon to me, like some of the other things we've mentioned, like the Scootaloo thing, or formerly Twilight, Destiny, all that stuff. Like that's way more interesting to me. So I guess that's my feeling.
Okay. So another thing I want to talk about, I guess, it is ascended fanon, which it basically refers to it was stuff that was fanon and now has become canon to some way, shape, or form. So I just kind of want to talk about a few of them and just like, particularly like a big one that we just, had recently was Applejack's parents have been confirmed to be dead. That was a fanon thing for such a long time, and they've recently confirmed it. It's like, yeah, they're dead. How about that?
Yep, them parents sure are dead, I'll tell you what.
And then she cries into a barrel of apples every night. But that's one of them. What's another?
Her farm's the applesauce is seasoned with special tears. I don't know why I went there.
Well, you did, and thank you.
The window of opportunity was open, and I jumped through.
You always do.
Whether it's actually open or not.
Fuck it, I'll throw a brick through it. Anyway, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one piece of okay. Is there any like Forstring, can you think of any other things that were like ascended have become ascended fanon?
Would Derpy count?
Yeah, I think that would count, although it's a weird one now.
Or more so like her personality.
Yeah, sort of. Although there are some fanon things that have yet to be confirmed.
Oh yeah, certainly. But yeah, I get that. That's the main one I can think of. If it
Yeah.
counts as Derpy's personality, because I mean, all we knew at the beginning was that, oh hey, there's this pony that has cross eyes. That's funny.
Yep.
And then it
Funny.
just kind of went from there. And
Now
some
we
of
know
it,
she's a klutz.
yeah. And then in the last roundup, it was pretty. And then not even just in that, but like in some of the episodes preceding, where she was just being derpy.
Goofy.
Yeah. So that's definitely one.
And well, her name became canon, and then
And yeah, of course, there's that.
yeah. Oh man. Well, one bit of fanon that this was one of those. It wasn't.
Get out. So that's what that feels like. Ow.
That word is finally ruined. Is like forever ruined for me.
So is plot.
Oh God.
But anyway,
on the topic though, an interesting one that you could argue the case for would actually be Alicorn Twilight, because you can argue that with seasons 1 and 2, like who's to say that they always planned to do that with the Twilight character? You know what I mean? What if they were inspired by fan ideas to take it to that level?
well, ascended fanon doesn't necessarily mean that they took it from the fans. It just sometimes it does. Other times it's like, well, it's just something that became true.
Well, yes, so you could argue Alicorn Twilight then.
I was gonna actually bring that because yeah, it's one of those things. It wasn't like not a lot of people, not everyone agreed with this one, but a significant amount of the fandom like thought that yeah, Twilight was gonna become an Alicorn or a princess or something. And well, hey, guess what happened? So there's that. And then Lauren Faust revealed, oh, by the way, yeah, I kind of planned for this, so this is why everything seems to point to it. Oops. But anyway, I said I wasn't going to make the podcast about that.
But let me tell you more about this thing about it.
Let me tell you about Alicorn Twilight.
1 hour later.
And that's what I think of that.
And that's how Equestria
later.
was made.
Another thing, kind of the opposite of that though, is well, fanon that has been debunked by canon, or one term that people use is Joss, based off Joss Whedon, because he likes to do that to his fans, where basically he likes to take what they think about something and like, nope, that's not it at all.
Yeah, well,
anyway,
Joss Whedon he's on a whole nother level. So.
Yeah, but yeah, it's basically stuff that people had long held theories or whatever, and then the show undoes it. It's like, no, that's not really the case.
I thought Lil B was a pony, and the show was like, it's not. He's not a pony. He's just a rapper, a very based rapper.
It's ruined forever. I'm not watching anymore.
I haven't watched since season 2. I've actually just been like guessing through the whole thing.
Somehow guessing exactly right every single time.
Exactly. Was I right? Is my fanon correct?
Sure, why not?
Woohoo.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, one particularly interesting example of, I guess, Jost fanon is the Derpy Dinky relation. And if you don't know what that is, we had Derpy, and then I can't remember which episode it was exactly, but I just remember early season 1, people saw this little filly unicorn who had the same kind of blonde hair, but also had a purple shade that was very, very pale, so it looked almost gray. And people were like, oh, the two of them are related. That must be Derpy's daughter. And they called her Dinky, and people did this for a long time. And then Sister Who's Social came along, and suddenly that little purplish unicorn had a older sister, and it's like the show's like, nope, they're not related at all. How about that?
Yep.
And then what's interesting about it though is so many people refuse to accept that they actually tried to say, oh no, see, that older one is who looks suspiciously similar in age to Derpy, is somehow also Derpy's daughter, because I don't know, they just. Yeah, and also it's also inspired some very sappy fan content. I'll be honest, it's just trying so hard to pull at your heartstrings, and it's just kind of like, it's sad how blatant it is. And that's my opinion on that. But yeah, again, can you guys think of anything else that was kind of like thought of as fanon and then kind of undone by the show?
I'm having a hard
trying
time
to
thinking of anything right now, actually, because I think it's partially because once something becomes real, you just kind of forget that you ever thought that. In my opinion, at least, it's always just like, oh, that's a thing. That's how it actually is. So I just kind of forget.
Yeah.
So I'm having a trouble.
Oh, I just thought of one.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I remember for a long time, for a large chunk of season 1, I know you guys were later you guys joined later. I joined right before this got undone, but I remember early in the fandom, a lot of people assumed Rarity was significantly older than the other of the main 6. They everyone says.
No, I was around for that.
Oh, you were? Okay.
She seems like she is, though. Her personality.
The thing is, it's kind of implied that they're in their late teens, early 20s, but a lot of people thought Rarity was like in her 30s-ish, or I guess the pony equivalent of that. But then Cutie Mark Chronicles comes along and kind of is like, no, she's about the same age as the rest of them. So it's like, oh, there goes that, I guess. And yeah, I remember there was countless theories about, how they got their Cutie Marks and all that stuff, and which was undone by Cutie Mark Chronicles, including, I remember one of them was actually, another fan theory was actually, Twilight was actually like Celestia's daughter. I remember that one. That was an early one that most people didn't believe, but it was held on for a long time until, again, Cutie Mark Chronicles aired, and, oh, look, there's her parents. Of course, then people invented Celestia just put her up for adoption because, you can't have a child or something or whatever. Think of the scandal.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, there's that. Of course, anyone who wrote a fic with, Twilight's long-lost brother, they got a nasty surprise when Candlelit Wedding premiered. Wait, what do you mean, Twilight?
Speaking of that, I should direct everyone's attention, even though you can't see it, to that picture I posted in the Facebook chat earlier.
Oh, dear. Oh, yeah. That.
Oh, yeah.
That.
Listen, I've got some words, sir, about Sonic and...
This is my new fanon.
No. But what about Cadence?
Basically, folks, we should put this in the podcast description so people can make up their minds.
Yes, it's going in the podcast description. It has to.
Oh, no.
We've talked about it enough now. Now we have to talk. We have to put it in there.
Dad, no,
basically,
please.
folks, for those of you that obviously can't see it at the moment, it's an interesting picture of Sonic and, God, who is it again? Let me go click.
Shining
Armor making out, and it's kind of...
And it's funnier the longer I look at it.
Oh no, what are you doing?
Why is Sonic always like paired up with people and like kissing? It seems like it's just like...
I didn't pair him up with Metallica like that.
Well, at least in any of the chapters you posted to fanfiction.net.
I left nothing out of that story.
Countless drafts thrown into the garbage because you couldn't figure out how to write a Hames jet field and Sonic sex scene. Couldn't figure
Not
it
quite,
out.
sir. See, now we should. Now, at this point, they're going to want to put a link to my story in the podcast description too.
Oh,
so everyone, we need to read that again sometime. Can we read that again sometime?
Yes.
Let's do a bonus episode where we just read that.
Oh,
no one will listen.
No one will. It's like, what is this crap?
We will.
This isn't about ponies.
I quit.
I could rewrite it to. I mean, if you want,
we could just replace every member of Metallica with four of the six main six.
Oh God. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Now there is an interesting question. Out of the main six, who would represent James Hetfield? Who would represent Kirk Hammett, Lars Ulrich, Robert Trujillo? You could actually have five because you got to have Jason Newsted represented. So.
Well, we've gone completely off topic.
It's still tied to ponies.
I think Pinkie Pie would be Lars.
Probably.
Twilight.
No, Rarity would be Lars because Rarity's the pompous one. So.
Okay, then Pinkie has to be James.
Okay.
Twilight. I don't feel like Twilight fits any of them.
She probably she doesn't.
Hooray!
Applejack would be Kirk Hammett.
Okay.
The egoless one who's just there to keep everything balanced.
That makes Rainbow Dash Robert Trujillo.
Yeah, the crazy wild bass player. And then who's the outcast? Because we have to have Jason Newsted. So.
Spike.
Spike. Yeah.
No one cares about Spike. The dog. Oh, whoops! Did I say that out loud?
So would that make Applejack's parents Cliff Burton?
I hope that's a thing. So.
I'll let that sink in for a second.
Yeah, that Spike the dog thing. The more I see it, the more I realize. Oh wait, I think that's actually not a real thing, unfortunately. Because I would have loved it because of the tears. Again, I'd be collecting tears.
I hope Spike's actually human in the show too.
What?
Oh.
Why would?
We'll see. Soon.
How much longer do we have to wait for that? By the way.
Probably won't be coming up. Probably, I'm willing to bet May, at least somewhere around April. May is the movie. Just watch, or maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, they can likely churn it out pretty quick. I can't imagine.
It's done.
Cycle. It's done. Okay, so yeah, pretty quick.
Yeah, because I remember the Top Draw thing. Yeah, that way back when Top Draw had the listing for a 66-minute MLP DVD project, and that has been there. And now it's like connect the dots. Oh, that's the movie we've been talking about, and then that movie turned out to be this Equestria Girls thing, and we are so off topic. It's crazy. We need to go back to normal.
We can't go back. We might as well just end now.
No.
There's no turning back.
So yeah, there's a lot of fan and stuff, and a lot of it's been debunked. You did mention
each one of us has a headcanon, though, which would be interesting to discuss before we end this discussion.
So, is there any particular personal headcanons that you guys have?
Well, obviously,
I had a really good one the other day. I have to think of it. What was that?
For me, Fluttershy would be secretly a rocker chick. I could just see it.
That's so interesting to me.
That's weird.
It's always the quiet ones, damn it. It is.
Well.
Twilight would probably be this really... She would just collect the most random things and as many of that one thing as she can. She'd be like a compulsive collector. I could totally see it. Like, she collects... Like, I could see her having a massive stamp collection. Like, just something really dorky.
I see.
Hey, what do you think's in all those books she has?
I can't think of any headcanon right now, but I just thought of another fanon thing that I like, which is that Discord is Star Swirl.
Oh yeah, that. I remember that.
I enjoy that one.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one because you could go some places with that.
Yeah, although it looks like the show is it looks like the show writers have no intention of going there ever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's still. Hey, this is the fanon episode, and if it stays fanon, more power to the fans.
Yeah. What was it? There's one particular fanon that I kind of like. It doesn't really have any bearing on anything, but it's this one. It's basically that Celestia and Luna aren't actually sisters. They're just two ponies who became alicorns around the same time and met each other. And they're like, oh, what the heck? We're going to call each other sisters because, well, why not? Because the relationship was like that close, but
it's like the white stripes,
I guess. Something that's one weird one. Oh, that reminds me. That's the fanon. There's the whole fanon debate about whether or not they're actually immortal or just really long lived. Because that's never actually been explicitly said in the show. So,
but I think the heavy implication is that they're immortal because how long was Nightmare Moon in the moon?
That's why I said extremely long lived, not necessarily immortal. It's like, what was it? Like in Mass Effect, you got the Asari who would live for 1,000 years. They could just be very, very long lived because if someone says because they have so much magic, it helps to keep them alive longer.
Right.
Or something.
On that note,
we don't know.
On that note, is it reasonable to assume that now that Twilight is an alicorn, she'll live that long?
Yeah, it's reasonable, but again, then there's the cadence thing. People are like, well, she looked like she grew up normal. It's like, so the people assume Cadence is mortal just because she used to be younger. It's like, yeah, you have to be born and grow up at some point. Come on. Just because you're mortal doesn't mean you just popped up one day always the same age.
Right.
So it's theoretically, yeah, that it's possible that Twilight could be that long-lived, which is part of the reason why a lot of people don't like it, because she'll outlive her friends. But anyway, that's also fanon type stuff. It's about whether or not how Twilight would handle the death of her friends when she's still living. Yeah. So yeah, I guess we've talked quite a bit about this fanon stuff, and I don't think we have much else to say about it. Do you guys have anything else you can think of?
Your fandom sucks.
Don't you mean your fanon sucks?
No, the fandom.
Oh, okay.
Now let me tell you guys about the Homestuck fan.
No!
You see...
No! Cut his mic! Cut his mic!
Alright. I could take a hint. Alright.
Good.
Yeah, you people don't know good webcomic literature. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So I guess we're done with this whole fanon thing. But just as one little final reminder, just remember to if the show overrides your fanon, remember, just kind of be calm about it. Don't freak out and declare the show ruined forever just because your little personal belief went off and is no longer can be plausible without significant alteration of the show.
The Brony fandom calm?
Yeah.
Remember,
come on.
If your fanon becomes canon, they did it to piss you off.
Yeah, it's like asking water to be dry. So, yeah. I guess that's it for the fanon thing. But I got more to talk about. Yes, you got to hear me talk more. Because last week... done yet? That was long.
And that's how Kevin died.
You done?
Wait,
I would have kept going, but I started laughing.
Good. But yeah.
My God,
I'll be back
a long time.
when you least expect it.
Oh, I see. But yeah. Last week, the final issue of the story arc for the comic came out. Issue 4 of the Chrysalis arc. And once again... just to top it off, I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, buy it, especially if you're already invested in the story. How else are you going to find out how it ends? And, well, yes, once again, same great art, same great actual quality of the thing, still the same $4. Wraps up the story very well, in my opinion. This one is just chock full of references. I mean, seriously, there was... let's see, you got a almost, I think it's, MC Escher / Labyrinth reference. You've got, let's see, a reference to It, Indiana Jones, The Shining, Phantom of the Opera. It's all over the place. And I guess just haunted, like monster movies like Dracula and Frankenstein and stuff in general. I just love it so much, and just... because the main six are finally getting to finally found Chrysalis and the changelings, and they're gonna confront her and save the Cutie Mark Crusaders. And then epic battle happens, and it's pretty awesome. I don't want to just and then we got a little side story that explains what the heck Spike's been up to while the 6 of them were off trying to confront Chrysalis and all of them, and it's just pretty. I just love it a lot. Because I can't, again, it's one of those things I can't talk too much about it without spoiling, but you probably can guess how it's going to end, because, can't have them dying or anything. That wouldn't work.
Right.
Yes. So, yeah. Once again, you like the previous 3, you'll definitely like this one.
Nice.
And if for some reason you didn't like the previous 3, then what's wrong with you?
What if I like the first 2, but not the third one?
What's wrong with you?
What if I liked the first one and the third one, but not the second one?
Stop it. Stop making things more complicated than they need to be. Just stop.
Okay.
Stop. Makes my brain hurt. Yeah. Yes, pick it up. $4. Once again, physical copies, digital, iTunes, Comixology, etc., etc. And I guess that's it.
Woohoo!
Yes.
We survived. We survived the fanon debate.
Yes, and by the way, later this month will be the Rainbow Dash micro-series, and at the very end of the month, I believe, will be issue 5 of the series, which will begin the new arc, which I believe has Nightmare Moon in it.
Oh,
interesting.
Snap.
So,
oh,
yes.
yeah.
There's that. And, yeah, once again, no fan content stuff because...
Laziness.
Yeah. Laziness on my part. I'm not sure about 4-string, but laziness. I think 4-string was just busy.
I didn't even know I was going to be in here for sure until
I didn't even know.
See, isn't fan content hard? That's why I passed it off to Nemesis, because I was lazy.
Yeah, we got lazy. So eventually we'll probably try to bring it back some points in the future. Don't make promises, though, because we don't want to break your hearts.
And by that,
just like we might bring back
promises.
interviews.
Yeah, those interview things. Remember how we used to have a bunch of those? Yeah.
Dude, I'll do some interviews. Give me some people to interview. I will do it.
I want you to find them.
Go find them.
Just find people that you think should be interviewed.
Okay. Andrew Hussey, creator of Homestuck.
No.
What's your opinion on the Brony fan?
Well, they're a lot better. Probably still a lot better than the Homestuck fandom. As crazy as they are. Oh yes.
I would love if he said that, and then we were the people to break that story.
Homestuck creator loves Bronies more than his own fandom. Oh God, there would be war and so much bloodshed.
Oh, that would be glorious. But anyway, if you did like it, despite the crazy rambling and the lack of fan content, you can listen to our previous episodes as well on, like, say, iTunes, where you can search for us, Pony411. You could also download us direct, pony411.libsyn.com. You can also listen to us on youtube.com/pony411 if you're so inclined. You can contact us at Twitter at Pony411. You could also see us on Facebook.com/Pony411. And you can contact us by email, if you so desire, at Pony411podcast@gmail.com. So that's all it for the plugging of our stuff. I hope to see you in the future. If not, well, I don't know. Go soak your head.
And of course,
go read a book or something, or go outside, or watch a feature film with Shrek in it.
Which is not Drek.
Nope.
Yeah, go become a broger.
Like this podcast.
Because Shrek is love and Shrek is life.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Hey, you remember? You know, you sunk my battleship. What if it was you sunk my battle Shrek? You swamped my battle.
You'll just keep saying that until you run it completely into the ground.
I'm so glad I came up with that.
Until you run completely into the marsh.
Oh God.
Anyway.
Looks like that joke got swamped.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to end this before Art kills me with his puns, or I kill him because of his puns. Which is more
unlike
likely.
me, I'm not doing it very well right now. But to all you listeners out there, please pony responsibly.
See, Art likes to hijack this from me. You notice that?
Every time
he tries. Sometimes I beat him. Usually,
no, I don't.
Oh, really? I got the records to show you do.
I have IRC chat transcripts.
Yeah, we're together. Yeah. Okay, we got to say goodbye. This has gone way off the rails now.
I thought we already said goodbye. I thought this was it.
This is it.
I said goodbye for you, damn it.
Bye, guys. See ya.
Good night.
No one's listening, so I'm not going to say bye.
Say bye.
I'm an asshole.
Oh. Bye.
See ya.
Pony 411 is done. Good night. Sorry, that was adding lyrics to my theme song.